This video pays tribute to legendary wrestlers who have left us, honoring their remarkable contributions and the lasting legacy they've created in wrestling. These icons inspired millions with their dedication and talent. We also share emotional updates about Rhea Ripley, whose recent news has touched fans deeply. Celebrate their incredible lives and unforgettable impact with us. Don't forget to subscribe to keep their stories alive and ensure their legacies continue to inspire generations to come. Adnan alKisi, born on March 1, 1939, in Baghdad, Iraq, was a trailblazing Iraqi-American professional wrestler and manager who left an indelible mark on the wrestling world. Known for his multiple in-ring personas, Sheikh Adnan alKisi, Billy White Wolf, and later General Adnan, he was revered not only for his charisma and commanding presence, but also for being one of the first Arab stars to rise to prominence in American wrestling. One of the most iconic moments in his career came in 1971, when he defeated the legendary Andre the Giant in front of a packed crowd at Al-Shab Stadium in Baghdad. The event was more than just a wrestling spectacle. It was politically charged, reportedly organized with the help of his high school classmate, Saddam Hussein, who was ascending the ranks of the Ba'ath Party. This victory elevated alKisi's status in both the sports and political arenas of Iraq. He later transitioned to the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, WWF, where he captured the WWF World Tag Team Championship alongside Chief Jay Strongbow on December 7, 1976. During the 1980s, he showcased his talents in the American Wrestling Association, AWA, establishing himself as a seasoned performer and respected figure backstage. In 1990, he returned to the global spotlight in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, as the controversial General Adnan. He managed Sergeant Slaughter during the Gulf War-era storyline and participated in the memorable 1991 SummerSlam handicap match against Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. Adnan alKisi, due to natural causes, with reports indicating a gradual decline in health. He is remembered as a pioneering figure who broke cultural barriers and paved the way for future generations of Arab wrestlers in the industry. Jorge Gonzalez, born on January 31, 1966, in Carlos Pellegrini, Argentina, was a professional wrestler and basketball player, best known for his time in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and World Championship Wrestling, WCW. Standing at an extraordinary 7 feet 7 inches tall, Gonzalez remains one of the tallest wrestlers in history, earning him a distinctive and memorable presence in the world of sports entertainment. Before his wrestling career, Gonzalez played professional basketball in Argentina, where his height made him an imposing figure on the court. However, his transition to professional wrestling in the late 1980s proved to be more fruitful. He debuted in various promotions, gaining attention for his size and athleticism. In 1993, Gonzalez joined the WWF, where he was known by the ring name Giant Gonzalez. His debut in the company featured him in high-profile storylines, including a notable feud with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 9, which remains one of his most memorable moments. Gonzalez also had stints in WCW, where he faced off against some of the biggest names in the industry. Despite his imposing physical presence, his wrestling style was often limited due to his size, and he struggled with recurring injuries throughout his career. These health issues, including complications arising from his height, contributed to his relatively short time in the wrestling world. After retiring from wrestling, Gonzalez faced a number of serious health challenges, including those related to acromegaly, a condition caused by excessive growth hormone that contributed to his abnormal height and other medical issues. Due to complications from diabetes, heart failure, and kidney failure, Gonzalez is remembered as a unique and larger-than-life figure in professional wrestling, leaving behind a legacy marked by his immense size and brief yet impactful career. Rusty Brooks, born on August 22, 1957, in the heart of American professional wrestling, was a charismatic figure who whose ring presence and technical wrestling skills made him a standout in the industry. Active primarily in the 1980s and 1990s, Brooks was a familiar face in some of the biggest promotions of the era, including the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and the American Wrestling Association, AWA. His career was marked by a blend of fierce athleticism, calculated in-ring psychology, and a unique persona that made him particularly memorable. Brooks's most notable trait was his portrayal of a villainous character. Whether as a crafty heel or a snarky antagonist, his charisma ensured fans would either cheer or jeer him with fervor, adding significant emotional depth to every match. His technical prowess shone through, and he engaged in brutal yet artful bouts against legendary names such as Terry Funk, Jerry Lawler, and many others. These matches, rich with drama and passion, showcased his ability to hold his own against some of the finest talents in wrestling. In addition to his wrestling career, Brooks was a respected trainer and mentor, contributing immensely to the independent wrestling scene. His invaluable knowledge of the craft shaped and inspired the next generation of talent, ensuring his influence would last far beyond his in-ring days. Despite enduring the physical and mental challenges of the wrestling world, Brooks remained dedicated to his craft. Tragically, Rusty Brooks. The cause of was complications related to heart disease, a condition that had long been a concern in his life. His passing marked the end of a significant era in professional wrestling, but his legacy endures through the wrestlers he trained and the fans who remember his work with great fondness. Brian Christopher, born Brian Lawler on January 10, 1969, in Memphis, Tennessee, was a professional wrestler best known for his dynamic in-ring performances and charismatic persona. As the son of wrestling legend Jerry the King Lawler, Christopher carved out his own identity in the wrestling world, achieving fame in World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, under the ring name Grandmaster Sexay. His vibrant character, marked by high-energy performances and signature dance moves, made him a fan favorite during the late 1990s and early 2000s. Christopher began his wrestling career in the early 1990s, initially wrestling in various regional promotions before joining WWE in 1997. There, he adopted the Grandmaster Sexay persona, which quickly became popular. He teamed up with Scotty 2 Hotty to form Too Cool, a tag team known for their entertaining antics and unique dance routines. The duo became one of the most beloved teams of the era, even capturing the WWE Tag Team Championship. Their infectious energy and memorable performances made them stand out, solidifying Christopher's place in wrestling history. After his time with WWE, Christopher continued to wrestle on the independent circuit, making appearances in various promotions. Despite facing personal struggles, including legal issues and substance abuse, he remained a significant figure in the wrestling community, particularly for his impact on tag team wrestling and the Too Cool persona. Tragically, Brian Christopher His was the result of an apparent suicide while in custody at the Hardeman County Jail in Tennessee, where he had been arrested on charges related to DUI. His passing shocked the wrestling world, and he is remembered for his contributions to the industry, his infectious personality, and his role in popularizing the Too Cool act. Larry Henig, born on June 18, 1936, in Minnesota, was a legendary figure in professional wrestling whose impact spanned several decades and multiple prestigious promotions, including the American Wrestling Association, AWA, National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, and the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, WWF. Known by his ring name, The Axe, Henig built a reputation for his hard-hitting style, leaving a lasting imprint on the wrestling world. His legacy was further enriched by his family connections. Henig was the father of the iconic Mr. Perfect Curt Henig and the grandfather of Curtis Axel and Amy Miss Perfect Henig, ensuring the Henig name would be forever intertwined with the sport. Henig's career began in the late 1950s when he entered the AWA after being trained by the legendary Verne Gagne. His early years were filled with trials, but his determination led to success. Notably, he held the AWA Tag Team Championship alongside Duke Hoffman, marking his first major achievement in the squared circle. Nicknamed the Axe for his fierce in-ring persona, Henig was known for his finishing move, a devastating elbow drop that became synonymous with his style. As the 1960s progressed, Henig ventured into Texas's wrestling territories, where he adopted a more aggressive, no-nonsense approach that led to him winning the prestigious Texas heavyweight title. He also formed a formidable tag team with Harley Race, and together they captured the AWA World Tag Team Championship 3 times, solidifying their place in wrestling history. However, Henig's career was marred by a significant setback in 1967 when a knee injury during a match sidelined him, marking the end of his final title run. Despite this, his contributions to the sport remained influential. Larry Henig. His was attributed to complications related to kidney failure, a condition that he had been battling in his later years. Henig's passing left a void in the wrestling world, but his legacy as a tough, respected competitor and loving family patriarch endures. Chris Candido, born Christopher Michael Candido on March 21, 1972, in New Brunswick, New Jersey, was a highly skilled professional wrestler known for his high-flying abilities and technical wrestling expertise. He began his career in the early 1990s, initially working in regional promotions, before gaining widespread recognition in Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW. Candido's in-ring persona evolved over time, but his greatest success came during his time in ECW, where he became one of the promotion's top stars. He achieved notable success both as a singles competitor and in tag teams, including winning the ECW World Tag Team Championship alongside his partner Lance Storm, and briefly holding the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. Candido was also well known for his relationship with Tammy Sunny Sitch, who became both his wife and his manager. Together, they became one of the most memorable and controversial couples in wrestling history. Outside of ECW, Candido had stints in World Wrestling Entertainment, where he competed as Skip in the Body Donnas tag team, and later in Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, TNA, solidifying his reputation as a versatile performer. Tragically, Candido's life and career were cut short when his was the result of complications from acute pneumonia, which developed after he suffered a severe leg injury during a match. Candido underwent surgery for the injury, but during his recovery, he contracted pneumonia, which ultimately led to his untimely. His passing sent shockwaves through the wrestling world and highlighted the dangers professional wrestlers face, both from injuries sustained in the ring and from the health complications that can arise from them. Candido is remembered for his passion, talent, and significant contributions to the wrestling industry. Rhea Ripley, born Demi Bennett on October 11, 1996, in Adelaide, Australia, is undeniably one of WWE's most influential and dynamic superstars. Known for her imposing presence, fierce attitude, and unmatched athleticism, Ripley has become a dominant figure in the professional wrestling world. However, her path to stardom, particularly in WWE, has been shaped by not only her extraordinary abilities, but also by controversies, rumors, and the obstacles that have come with her rapid rise. Her journey has been anything but ordinary, with challenges both inside and outside the ring, making her one of the most compelling figures in modern wrestling. Early life and career, the roots of a future star. Ripley's wrestling story began long before she ever set foot in a WWE ring. Growing up in Adelaide, Australia, she was always a fan of sports, with wrestling quickly becoming a passion that dominated her early years. Ripley's love for the sport led her to pursue training at the age of 16, and it didn't take long for her to make a name for herself in the Australian wrestling circuit. Her athletic prowess, combined with her natural charisma, made her stand out in a sea of talent. Trained by wrestling legend Scotty 2 Hotty at the WWE Performance Center, Ripley honed her craft and quickly earned recognition. Her early years in wrestling were a blend of rigorous training and hard-fought matches, which helped her build a reputation as someone capable of competing at the highest level. Ripley's breakthrough moment came when she signed with WWE in 2017, marking the start of her journey toward international recognition. While Ripley had already garnered a name for herself on the independent circuit, it wasn't until she joined WWE's NXT brand that she truly began to rise to prominence. By 2019, Ripley captured the NXT Women's Championship, cementing her place as one of WWE's brightest rising stars. The championship victory was a turning point in Ripley's career, marking her as a powerful force in the women's division and attracting widespread attention from both fans and critics alike. Rise to prominence. Dominating the women's division. Ripley's transition to WWE's main roster was nothing short of meteoric. In 2020, she made her debut on Monday Night Raw, immediately asserting herself as one of the top female athletes in the company. It didn't take long for Ripley to capture the Raw Women's Championship, and in doing so, she joined the ranks of the most decorated female wrestlers in WWE history. Her first reign as Raw Women's Champion, which lasted an impressive 380 days, tied her with Bayley for the longest reign in the title's history. This title run solidified Ripley's spot as one of the top wrestlers on the roster, with her in-ring style and personality making her a fan favorite. Ripley's reign wasn't just a showcase of her physical prowess, it was also a statement of how she carried the women's division forward. She was a dominant champion, constantly facing new challengers, and showing that she had the ability to adapt to the various challenges thrown her way. Beyond her in-ring dominance, Ripley's striking appearance also played a significant role in her rise to prominence. Her punk-inspired aesthetic, complete with tattoos, spiked hair, and a confident, fearless attitude, set her apart from the rest of the women's division. This distinct look made her a standout star, and she quickly became known for her unapologetic and bold character. However, as Ripley's star continued to rise, so did the scrutiny and controversies that come with being at the top. Despite her undeniable talent and popularity, Ripley's rapid ascension to the top of WWE raised questions among certain segments of the wrestling community. The challenges, backstage tensions, and creative struggles. As Ripley's rise to prominence continued, rumors began to swirl about potential backstage tensions. One of the more notable rumors involved Ripley's perceived fast-tracking to the top of the women's division. Some backstage sources suggested that certain veteran WWE stars felt uncomfortable with how quickly Ripley was pushed to the forefront. These veterans, who had spent years grinding in the industry, reportedly felt that Ripley had not paid her dues in the same way they had. While Ripley's success in NXT was undeniable, some of these veterans were reportedly frustrated by her rapid ascent to the main roster and championship status. This backstage friction, if true, could have led to some of the challenges Ripley faced in establishing herself fully within WWE's ecosystem. The idea of earning your spot is often a key component of WWE's culture, and some wrestlers might have felt that Ripley had not gone through the same trials as others. Nonetheless, Ripley's talent and work ethic allowed her to overcome such barriers, but the tensions were nonetheless a part of her journey. In addition to backstage tensions, Ripley has also had to navigate WWE's evolving creative direction. As WWE enters new programming eras and revamps certain storylines, the women's division has been a major focus. Ripley, who had been so integral to the division's rise, found herself caught up in shifting storylines and rivalries. Some fans and analysts speculated that these changes led to Ripley's character feeling somewhat disjointed or underdeveloped at times. This dissatisfaction with her creative direction was one of the driving forces behind the rumors suggesting that Ripley may be frustrated with her role within WWE's future plans. Despite these challenges, Ripley remained a prominent figure on WWE television. She continued to showcase her skills in the ring, working hard to maintain her position at the top. However, The rumors about her dissatisfaction and potential departure from WWE began to gain traction. In a time when top stars such as Sasha Banks and Bray Wyatt were rumored to be contemplating leaving the company, Ripley's name was often mentioned in speculation about possible departures. Though no official statements were made, many fans and analysts questioned whether Ripley's frustration with creative direction might lead to her seeking new opportunities outside WWE. Personal life, public scrutiny, and speculation. Beyond the ring, Ripley's personal life has also garnered significant attention. In 2024, Ripley married fellow WWE superstar Buddy Matthews, formerly Buddy Murphy, and the couple quickly became one of the most talked-about duos in the wrestling world. While their relationship has been widely celebrated by fans, it has also sparked speculation about how it might impact their professional careers. Some fans have wondered whether WWE will take advantage of their real-life relationship by pairing them in storylines, which has led to some mixed opinions about how WWE would incorporate them as a duo. Ripley's personal life, however, is just one part of her public image. Her unique persona, defined by her punk rock-inspired look and aggressive in-ring style, has made her a standout star, especially among fans who appreciate a more unconventional approach to women's wrestling. Ripley's departure from traditional beauty standards in favor of a more edgy, rebellious persona has led to both praise and criticism. While many fans celebrate her individuality, others feel that WWE might be pushing her edginess too far, potentially alienating fans who prefer more traditional or mainstream female characters. The future: will Rhea Ripley overcome the obstacles? Despite the challenges, rumors, and controversies that have surrounded her career, Rhea Ripley's talent and work ethic remain undeniable. She has already achieved significant success in WWE, including multiple championship reigns, and has proven herself as one of the most capable athletes in the company. Ripley's ability to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of WWE's creative direction speaks to her resilience and determination. But the question remains: can she overcome the ongoing backstage tensions, creative struggles, and rumors surrounding her career? Looking ahead, Ripley's future in WWE seems secure, at least for the time being. She is still one of the company's most prominent stars and is a central figure in the women's division. However, the evolution of her character and the direction of her storylines will play a crucial role in her long-term future. Will WWE continue to invest in her as the face of the women's division, or will the ongoing backstage politics and creative struggles begin to take their toll? Only time will tell, but one thing is for certain: Rhea Ripley's journey is far from over, and she will continue to make waves in the world of professional wrestling. Ripley's rise to the top of WWE has been a roller coaster of triumphs, controversies, and challenges. Whether she can continue to dominate the women's division or whether external factors will impact her journey remains a compelling question. But for fans and critics alike, one thing is clear: Rhea Ripley is a force to be reckoned with in WWE, and her impact on the industry will continue to be felt for years to come.